The sound of glass breaking didn't come from a fall. It came from my father, raising it like a sword. "To my eldest son," he declared, voice amplified by 300 eyes and the chandelier lights burning above us, "the one who found someone worth marrying." The wedding guests roared in laughter, applause, glittering decorations, cameras flashing. Then he turned his head toward me, a smirk, a spark of cruelty in the old man's pupils. "When's your turn?" he asked. He knew the answer. They all did. He just wanted to watch the blade sink deeper. I smiled back, slowly. 8 months ago. Silence descended like a guillotine. The chatter evaporated. Even the orchestra fell still. "You were invited," I continued. "Your favorite son threw the invitation in the trash." My brother froze mid-toast. My father's face cracked, micro-expressions twitching like breaking ice. My wife entered at that exact moment. Her dress caught the light. Her eyes darted around the sudden stillness. The guests stared at her as if she had walked into a funeral. She felt something had shifted. She just didn't know how close she was to the edge. Hours later, my phone buzzed with a call. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," my daughter-in-law shouted over the phone. She didn't say hello, didn't say my name, just entitlement coded in arrogance. I looked out at the lake beside my private villa in Switzerland and said only one word: enjoy. I hung up. When I sent her a single photo of the villa's marble balcony and infinity pool, my phone rang 71 times in one day. I watched the screen light up again and again, not answering, just watching, because I already knew the storm was coming, and I was ready. Suspicion isn't a shout. It starts as a whisper, a lingering look between my wife and my brother, a joke I wasn't supposed to hear, a change in tone, a breath held too long, little fractures in the facade. At first, I told myself I was imagining it, that I was exhausted, that the world wasn't so cruel. But the lies were too synchronized, too polished. The first crack came when I saw my brother's car parked outside a hotel, my wife's name signed into the check-in system, her perfume on his jacket at the next family dinner. I stared at her across the table as my father poured wine into my brother's glass with pride. They thought I didn't notice. I watched my wife laugh like nothing was broken, like she wasn't slicing scars into my back every time she whispered to him. There was betrayal in the room, thick like smoke, and everyone inhaled it except me. I didn't confront anyone, not then. Anger wouldn't win this. Emotion wouldn't save me. I swallowed my rage and let the suspicion grow, quietly, carefully, silently. I became a ghost in my own home, not invisible, observant. I learned their patterns. Her late-night texting, his excuses about helping Dad, family dinners that suddenly didn't include me. I started collecting evidence the way my father collected trophies, DNA tests, bank statements, phone records, deleted messages resurrected from cloud storage. Every night, I sat alone making connections. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I calculated. Watching my brother raise a glass with my father again, I stood in the shadows, silent. My father kept praising him, the businessman, the first to marry, the one who carried the family legacy. I poured myself another drink, let the bitterness settle on my tongue like truth. I wasn't the black sheep. I was the shepherd watching the wolves tear each other apart. The deeper I dug, the more the betrayal revealed itself. Meetings in hotel rooms, bank accounts under fake names, gifts purchased with my own money. She wasn't just cheating, she was planning a future with him, a life I wasn't supposed to exist in, and my entire family knew. I didn't react, not once. I waited. Vengeance is not a fire, it is ice. It burns slower, but it destroys more completely. The final piece arrived on a cold Tuesday morning. An envelope, A report. Detailed, clinical, devastating. I didn't slam my fist. I didn't yell. I walked into the house as if nothing had changed. My wife was at the kitchen counter, smiling into her phone. I placed the envelope on the table. She opened it expecting a bill. Instead, she found photographs, text messages, recorded calls, bank statements, hotel receipts, proof of everything. Her face drained of color, her voice caught in her throat. "You," she whispered. "I know," I said. Her hands trembled violently. She waited for the yelling, for an explosion, but I simply said, "I knew for months." The silence crushed her, worse than any scream. She didn't confess. She didn't apologize. She just stared, realizing the truth I had known the entire time. And I had already moved beyond her. Revenge isn't chaos, it's control. At Thanksgiving, I didn't show up. I didn't fight for a seat. I didn't explain myself. I sent one photo to the family group chat. My villa in Switzerland. The infinity pool. The glass balcony. The mountain view. The lion statue at the entrance. Luxury carved into silence. They saw a life they never imagined for me. My daughter-in-law sent 30 messages, then called. "How did you afford all this?" she demanded. I didn't answer. My father texted next. My brother called. My wife drove to the villa days later, banging on the door, begging. But I had already moved out. I left the key under the mat. A note inside, "You chose your side. Now live with it." There were no threats, no screaming, no violence, just truth. They expected me to break, to beg. Instead, I walked away, calm, precise, leaving them drowning in their own guilt. I stand now on the balcony overlooking the lake, the water still, reflecting a future they will never share. The villa is quiet, no laughter, no deception, no family, just peace. People think betrayal shatters you, that you crumble into pieces. But sometimes betrayal rebuilds you, sharper, colder, untouchable. I am not the man they left behind. I am the man they never saw coming. They can keep their weddings, their holidays, their empty traditions. I have something better. Closure. I pour a glass of wine, hold it to the light. My life didn't collapse, it evolved. And now, the only thing I feel is clarity. They will never see me again. And that is my victory.